Don't let anyone tell you you're past your prime. Because when you allow that to happen, they put you in a box. They are telling you what you should be. Be confident of who you are. Do what you love. And life is short. It's unpredictable. Live it the way you want it to. Because you can't please everybody at the same time. So love yourself, and especially the people around you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Between Frets, a space where female musicians meet and discuss all things music. I'm your host, Jenny Jam, and we're here once again with the Fret Sisters as we do another Fret Tea Talk. And this one is Ageism 2.0, kind of piggybacking off our last podcast that I think was a few seasons back, called Ageism. And it was brought up again by, let me introduce everybody. We have Nicole Rose.
Hello.
Shorn Marshall.
What's good?
And Autumn Tuesday.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome. Yay. Okay, but I wanted to send it off to Nicole because she brought up the topic again, and we want to dig more deeper into it. So yeah, let's talk about it.
What's up, good people? Recently, I don't know if y'all. First of all, anyone who hasn't, this sparked me seeing Wicked. I'm not a Wicked fan. I've never seen the play or anything. You don't have to go to New York to see it. For those of you who know, something has changed within me. That's one of those songs. And so from that, I've been looking up Broadway. I've been looking up a lot of things I was interested in when I was younger that's now sparked up again from watching the movie. And I found this lady, her name is Kim Hale. She moved to New York last year from California. She just dropped everything and she said she wants to live her dream again she was younger. So she started taking dance classes again. She started taking vocal classes. And she said she wants to get on Broadway. Because, typically Broadway really doesn't that's a safe space for older people as well. Because it really doesn't have the age limit. Anyone can be in Broadway. And she said, so she doesn't have to be in the front. She just wants to get on Broadway. So since she's been there a year, she's landed a couple of commercials. But she said it's kind of difficult because even at her age, even though Broadway is really open to everyone, it's really inclusive place. She's having a hard time booking things. They said, well, you're starting kind of late. Even though we do have older parts, these people have already been in it. You're going to have to try triple as hard because she's in her 50s, her early 50s. She was like, okay, whatever I have to do, I'm going to try it. She was like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with a bang. And so that brought my question up, like, it's never too late to start what you want to do, no matter what that is. And if there's not a lane, you need to make one. And that's what she's doing for herself. I just want to see what y'all thought about that.
And she's in her 50s, you said?
She's in her 50s, yeah.
Well, I know personally for me, because I am an old musician. I'm old. I've been thinking about that as a musician, maybe not Broadway or anything. And
the arts.
The arts. And, but I'm not, semi-famous because people are like, well, Diana Ross and, blah, blah, blah. They mention all these older artists that are out there still kicking it. But they already have a name. They've already have a career in music where I'm, a local. And so I always think about that time is when am I going to stop, or when is it to the point where it's like, okay, you're looking too old. And as a female, this is being old in the arts and being a female, because when it comes to the male counterparts, they don't have any problem. And I mean, that's just how it is. And I can, definitely attest to that's pretty much true. But, seeing it, on TV and seeing musicians backing up younger artists and they're all old, but you never see an old woman. And same here when I play out, you see a bunch of bands with a bunch of old guys, but nobody says anything, so I don't, it's pretty much, I can relate to it.
Make you look older. But the majority of the people on Broadway in film have been doing this for 30 years. That are they've already so they're already set.
Mm-hmm.
The Viola Davis and the Meryl Streeps and all of the artists, dancers, they've been there. So they didn't roll out of bed and started. Everybody's been doing this 8 hours a day for 30, 20, 30 years. There are some breakout new artists that are not teenagers. Doshi, she's up for a Grammy today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
17, like Billie Eilish. And some people were born with a silver spoon. I'm not mentioning any names. But right now it's pop. I keep saying this is the year of the woman and they're young. So Chapel Roan, Charlie XCX, Beyonce been in it for 40 years. Billie Eilish, only 22 with 2 Oscars. And Sabrina Carpenter. And then you have Andre 3000 nominated. He's been this for 30 years also. He's a man. Kendrick Lamar, he's a man. SZA, she already got a Grammy. She's in with Issa Rae in a TV special. Most of them have been doing this, or they work with someone. But most of them are young because popular music, popular country music, it depends on your genre, as I said. TV, film, they're looking for the season, the ones that could dance and sing and jump and leap and that have, gone to these great schools or they've been around, but it's never too late. Listen to Madonna, even though she's been around for 50 years. It's never too late. Look at Pink, been around for a while. She's still gigging. A lot of these women are still gigging, but they've been doing it for a long time. So never give up. It doesn't matter. What did Grandma Moses? Didn't she start at 80?
Yeah, yeah.
So you just believe in yourself and do the work. And I'm not going to say you get lucky. You do the work. You'll get out there. Now you may not get the Oscars or tour the world, but you never know what you can do unless you try. So I am an older guitar player, and I play with people just turned 20, and I'm much older than them. I can be their parent. But when I get on that stage, it's all about being good. Jazz players, there are older jazz musicians. Ron Carter's still gigging. He's 80. So, and he's a man, yes, but there are some people that are just world renowned. They're good. Just keep at it. Don't ever say, oh, I'm too old to do that. And if you say that, that's called giving up.
There's a guy, I apologize. He was from a group in the 70s, a very psychedelic group in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And he's 98 now. He's releasing his first album this year. He was like, hey, yes, he's 98. I remember it's the older black guy. He was like, I think he's like, I think it's time. And they were like, you think it's time? So he was like, in the 70s, he hasn't been with the group or anything. He was like, I'm still here and I still love music. It keeps me young. Y'all getting an album in April. We're like,
I figure out if he releasing that album right now, does that mean that it's almost time for him to, kick the bucket?
I don't know, but if you kicking the bucket doing what you love, you releasing the album at 98, go for it. My thing is, like, nowadays, like, to piggyback off of Autumn Tuesday here, you have to do it for what you love. Like the lady that I mentioned, Kim Hale, she's having a great time. She's like, I landed a few things within the year of being here. I landed a few commercials. She was like, I don't have to be a lead in the Broadway. I can be in the background. I have to get on Broadway. My thing is, not only do you have to have this dream, there are steps to it. And you have to believe for, the stars. If you hit the moon on the way there, at least you're up there. So my thing is, and plus right now, there's so many avenues that you don't really have to go through the old ways of doing things. And if age, it's pretty much nowadays, age can be your gimmick. Like, that's her thing. She has so many followers simply because of her age saying, hey, I want you to make it. Do it for the older people. You got this. So they're they're like, even like Lizzo, she was a bigger girl. I'm doing it for the big girls. So if you have something, you're going to have followers, you're going to have people that believe in you. So I'm not saying that you need to get up there and do a K-pop song and, it's 72. That might not work. You know what I'm saying? Or it might. I don't know. I don't know what works, but I'm not saying join, the NFL at 98. You might not make that. But, if you want to make an older team, an old football league for older people, you have to make your own lane nowadays.
Absolutely. Listen, just using some of the guys. Harrison Ford
Yes.
and Morgan Freeman didn't start until their 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
40s, yeah.
All right. And now they're both Oscar winners. They're back on Denzel Washington, 70 years old. Yes, he's been doing it a long time. But people are still, Viola Davis is, I think, almost 60. The people on The View, Whoopi Goldberg, yeah, she's an EGOT. She's 70. There are people still working at 70 and doing great. Yes, they've been around, but it's not to say you cannot do it. You cannot do it when you say you cannot do it.
Exactly.
Autumn, you were talking about how you're performing with 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And that's a one thing too, is like a couple years ago, even last year, and I think I expressed it to you guys that I really just didn't want to play anymore, or kind of like not really get more into like the cover band scene and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of it had to do with age, with my, me getting older, and just, saying I can't do this anymore. Like I had a friend also, and not to be morbid, but he died on stage, and but that was one thing that I was worried about. Not that, I'm concerned about my health, but I'm like, what if I'm like really old and I pass away on stage? But, I was thinking about that, but it seems like I still get these opportunities where, I'm asked to play, behind an artist, and these are recent gigs that I'm getting still. I'm not getting as many calls because I kind of not put myself out there, but I still play with my main band. And then I joined a new project where these musicians are like 20, early 30s. And so I'm like, I feel like I'm old, but we don't really, age isn't really talked about. It's more about the music.
Exactly.
So I'm getting to that point where it's like, I love the encouragement. Basically, I love the encouragement that you guys are talking about. The older you get, don't give up. Just keep doing it. So just hearing all that from you is kind of like giving me some inspiration. But
now, you, Jenny, we don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. There are young people that in their 20s are not here. From 25 to 26. Since we don't know, just keep forging ahead. My drummer, yesterday I had a meeting with Solified 7, who I play with in South Carolina in Greenville. He said, guys, when I started with you guys, I was 18. And I said, wow, 18. Right, he's my drummer. And I mean, he's older now, not much. He just turned 30. But, it doesn't matter. When you get up there and you do your thing, everybody wants to see a show. They want to hear a good sound. You want to be good. That's it. Look at, Prince band. He had men, women, old, young. It didn't matter as long as you sound good. John Mayer's the same way. All these large bands, they use, Maceo still playing horn was with Prince. And he was like 80, 78, 80. So, it depends on just stay focused, do what you want to do. Now, if you want to I know the record industry, if you're going that way, they want young. Yes, they're looking for the women. But those women, Chaperone and Charlie XCX, for just to name a couple, they've been out for 10 years. They just hitting it. Adele been out a long time. Billie Eilish was out when she was a child. A lot of Ariana Grande was an actress. Now she's nominated for a Grammy in her 30s.
An Oscar.
An Oscar.
An Oscar, yeah.
And a Grammy. A Grammy and Oscar. So is Cynthia Erivo, who maybe he got, and I hope she makes it.
I hope she gets it, yeah.
I hope she gets it. She's well deserved.
Yeah.
But, if you give up, then that's it.
I feel like, Karen, I believe you. I'm with you 100. Because you look at, I love blues. I know y'all should probably know. Like, you have Bonnie Raitt. She's what, mid-70s? She's still out doing her thing. And then there's a guy called Buddy Guy. I know y'all know who Buddy Guy is.
Yeah, with the polka dot strap. Yeah,
he's still out here. He's 80s. Like, and he was like, listen, y'all know I'm old. I'm taking this summer off, but I'll see you on the fall. We're like, okay, you know what I mean? Take all the time you need.
Yeah.
And my thing is, of course, I don't care what age. You're not going to be for everybody. And my thing, though, and most of these people who are young, even the 20-year-olds, like to say what Jenny was talking about, they feel forced to look young. I'm like, you're 22. Why are you getting fillers? Why are you getting Botox? Why are you trying to look young? Let yourself age. What's good will work. I don't care if you have wrinkles. I don't care if you don't. Follow after these men. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have, like I said, another gimmick, let everybody in your band be 50 or 60 and let them still kill. Show people that look what we can do. My thing is, now the older that I'm getting and starting, because I'm a late bloomer in everything. I'm pretty much so late. I've just learned how to tie my shoes. I'm late at everything. So my thing is, I'm more amped now that I'm older because I'm seeing older people stepping out. That's more motivation. You normally see people who are younger. Get these kids when they're young, as you should. You should get the kids when you're young. You should also get people who have dreams deferred in their 40s, in their 50s, or 60s, or 70s. If you didn't have people that had that mindset, we wouldn't have a Grandma Moses. We wouldn't have Cher making a new album this year. You wouldn't have all these older people saying, "Hey, you know what? I still like music. I still like to act." You have Denzel going back to Broadway at 70 this year. He's doing Othello. So you always have to keep that spark and that passion burning. So, and I don't know if this somebody, I don't know if you know, it's like sort of off topic. She's Joyce Meyer. She's a minister. She was like, "Listen, I love this so much. If I fall dead on stage, know because I died doing what I love. Just carry me off."
Battles of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a good orator and teacher, and I've watched her on the Christian Network for years, along with Dr. Charles Stanley, and
Yeah.
They're great motivation.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if I get my first album out at 75 and I fall over, buy my album, give it to my kids. I'm good. I'm not to make Jenny feel bad about her friend. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, if you're doing what you love, what you look like, how you stand, if you have to sit down and play, like BB King had to do in his last years, he had to sit down to play. But he did. He went out there and did what he loved.
John Lee Hooker was old when he was playing Boom Boom Boom.
Exactly.
All right, and he played with Big Mama Thornton, who was the first to record the song, and then of course Elvis did it over, and then Chuck Berry did it over, then Jimi Hendrix did it over. You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Yep.
So he was John Lee Hooker was an older man, and then some people, they make it big when they're young, and then
They fizzle out.
and then they fizzle out.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't hear about them anymore, or they may, go to the other side. So as long as you dream, do not. I remember this when I was in 5th grade. My teacher said, "Don't give up. You don't know what you can do until you can do it." I'm just saying that again, that all of us, we can do whatever we want to do in our time, but don't give up the dream. Don't give up that I do want to do it. No matter what level you get to, just do it.
As instructor at Autumn Tuesday and myself, we teach lessons. We have students in our rosters that are at least 40 years and above. Like, I have most of my students that's around that age are mostly singers. Mm-hmm. I even taught a singer that is like at least almost like late 50s. Mm-hmm. And she said she wants to to sing better, especially when she sings at church. And I've been helping her, and she says her breathing is being better. That, like, when you a singer and you are around that age frame, there's some things that you really have to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. And you have to make sure your health is good, make sure the dieting is right, because those are the main important things, like your respiratory, your cardiovascular, especially when you're singing, and making sure your vocal ligaments and everything are not damaged around that age.
Right.
And those are the ones that I mostly be getting. I've been getting a lot of singers around that age limit. I even got guitar students that's around that age limit. I'll just teach them whatever they want to learn. If they want to continue getting a different level of that, I will do that. But I've seen most of my students that I receive is mostly in that age limit. I'm in a all-girl band now that is in range from the late 40s, and I'm the youngest one. I'm only 39, and I got a drummer that is in late 50s that drum the hell out of it. Like, she be killing it.
Mhm.
And I got a bass player that's in her late 40s. We just got a new singer that's in her late 40s. I'm like, and I'm the only youngest chick in this band. I'm like 39, but they were killing it though.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it's less drama too.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I played with, a lot of artists all over the country, and it doesn't seem an issue when somebody comes from another country, how old they are. It's, can you do the job?
Yeah, that's it.
And, matter of fact, we walk upstairs, we don't even know each other until rehearsal, but it doesn't matter. They pick who can do the job. If you can play it, you're in there. You have to be workable. Yes, that's about it. You have to have the personality where you can't be a pain in the neck. But other than that, if you can play the job, you're hired. And they don't mind. And I think diversity is the thing now. Having young, old, different races, different ethnic backgrounds, it works because everybody wants to see themselves in a group or like that. So diversity is really good to see. And age, hey, if you can play, I'm gonna go see Ron Carter. Why not?
Now, don't go in there looking like Sophia from Golden Girls. Now, you do have to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Did you all see Fire Aid and
Yeah, all the artists, yeah.
Yeah. I noticed the artists that were on there, they're all like older, back in the day artists that came out and started playing. And when I saw Joni Mitchell, I was like, wow, she's sitting there and that lady is still singing and she must be like 80. And then when you had the Nirvana reunion, they had Kim Gordon up there. And Kim Gordon is she's a bass player who played with Sonic Youth and has her own band now and and she's like 70, I think, but she doesn't look it. But she also has a band where she hires young people. So she has a huge following of, Gen Z and millennials. She has a, huge following, well, up to Gen X too, because Sonic Youth. But she's like 70 and she's still kicking it. And so I just wanted to mention that because I noticed that a lot of the artists were a little bit older. On there, and I just thought that was kind of cool to see that.
Yeah. And if you notice the crowd, that auditorium was going up. They didn't care if they were 70s. Like, oh my God, look who's here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And something else Autumn said struck me about overseas. They value older people more. Even in London, you see the people over there, the actors, the singers, everybody that come from over there, they're not stuck on looks as much as talent. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of American artists go over there and they blow up because they respect them more for the gift that they have. So that's another thing. You may have to move. I mean, not saying it's going to be easy to do, but if there's a dream that you've been wanting, like for me, I've always been into the arts since I was young, but they got talked out of me when I was younger. Oh, you won't be able to do that. Why are you thinking about doing that? Because you're too big for that. No. They don't let. So now that I'm older, it's just now coming back to dreams that I had when I was younger. They could be for a lot of people as well.
Right.
So I'm saying, don't let people talk you out of what you want, no matter the age.
They're talking you out of it because they're not doing it.
Very true.
So why am I going to listen to someone that's never done something, going to tell me what I don't want to do? You want me to go down to your level? No, I bet you if the Rolling Stones go on tour, they'll sell out.
Oh, yeah.
Led Zeppelin can go back out on stage, they'll sell out. So these 80-year-olds can sell out, even though they've been doing it for 60 years. But the younger crowd will go watch them. Mm-hmm. So they'd never give up. Once you give up, that's when you say it's over.
Yeah, look at John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
Don Cougar Mellencamp still jam.
Yeah, I saw him on I was watching Royal Rumble last night and he was there in the audience and I was like, he's still alive? I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead, but he looks good. Mm-hmm. And he's still out there in that stage playing.
That's right.
Yeah. So we have about 6 minutes left, and so I wanted to get any final thoughts on this. I know that personally for me, I think that if, like you all were saying, If you're into it, if you want to do it, just go for it. Also, I think just being in music the whole time that I've been to, I think it's really helped my mind too, my mental health and my mind. I think the older you get, they always say that you kind of lose, loss of memory, or you can't think of stuff. But I think because the fact that I still have to learn music and still have that muscle memory, I think it really helps. So kind of, keep that going, keep that healthy. So yeah, that's what I feel like. It's just like exercising, I think it keeps, you get old, but you still feel young.
Yeah, but people say that being old is a state of mind.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you think young, you'll act young.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't act stupid, but you act young.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I say sometimes you just gotta step out. Like you say, she moved from LA to New York. The person that I saw, Kim Hill. I mean, if you're in the boondocks in the middle of Idaho and you want to do Broadway, you might have to move. You know what I'm saying? Some things you may have to take a leap. Just take that leap, step out on faith, and do it. It may not come quickly, but the pursuit of what you love gives you drive. It gives you something to wake up for in the morning. It gives you something to look forward to. So, just keep your hopes up, keep the drive going. And I don't care if you release something and you don't have to go to the Grammys. That may be your goal, but do something, like I say, take it a step at a time and you'll get to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Going forward.
Yeah.
Forward, even if it's baby steps, keep going forward. You'll get there.
Yep.
Definitely. All right. So that concludes our episode on Ageism 2.0. We hope everybody got something out of it. And if you're old, keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to be 80, 90 anyway. Keep it pushing.
Right, right. Okay. All right. So we'll see you next time on Fret Tea Talk and Between Frets. See you guys.
You guys.
Bye.